We need to talk. Right now, we need to talk. And before we talk, let's just take a deep breath and center and ground. Can we do that? Okay, let's do that. Oh, that feels so good. That feels amazing. As you can see already, this won't be like a lot of our live streams. And the reason why we need to talk is a lot of shit has been going on in my consciousness that defies all logic, reason, and balance. That up until a certain event, I was able to hold. I was able to balance my version of the life here in 3 density with my spiritual journey that I am very, very excited and diligent about. I'm talking to inhabiting souls on planet Earth right now. I love you. Let me start by saying that. I love you so much. You are a reflection of me, and I am a reflection of you. Look into my eyes. Go beyond the physical reflection that you see. Look at the light in my eyes and feel what I feel. Connect with me. Can you see what I see? Can you feel what I feel, what I'm feeling? This love vibration coming from my heart, entering your heart, and just going viral all over the internet right now. Can you feel what I feel? Look into my eyes. Don't be afraid. The eyes are the window to the solar energy that resides inside of the physical body. It's the light, the life, the life force energy inside of the body. Always look into the eyes. Get comfortable doing this. Get very comfortable doing this. Just looking into the eyes of other souls and connecting in non-duality with each other. We can connect to the solar energy that's inside of each one of us, because the energy inside is all the same. It's the non-duality that you're looking for. It's the energy that never changes. The color changes, the shapes change, right? The reflection of light changes here on what we call Earth. Everything changes, but the solar energy that's inside of me and that's inside of you, you who have souls, solar energy on the inside of you, it doesn't change. It's the same. It's everything that there could ever be. There's nothing new from the solar energy level. It just shifts and reconstructs and expresses itself in unlimited, your mind can't even comprehend the realms that contain just this solar energy. Let me tell you what happened to me that got me to this point, right? And I have to kind of find the English language to even try to translate this to you guys and girls. I told this story to my soulmate, my wife, and another individual. And I know that they thought that I was off my rockets. I know, because for the first time, I lost the ability to keep my balance from not crossing over too far when I come back to the physical realm and inhabit this body and communicate with you souls in the English language. I was doing a pretty good job of limiting my astral and non-physical growth to keep the communication, the connection with you inhabiting souls on a vibration and energy frequency that's conducive to us all. So you wouldn't just say, Derek Dunlap is fucking crazy, which I know I am. I know I am. I know I am. Why am I crazy? Because I have the ability to shift my conscious from physical to non-physical. So some of the things that I experience, you would call crazy, especially those of you who don't have any clue of what I'm talking about. So don't send nobody to my front door and try to shackle me, because I'm cool. I ain't gonna fuck with you. And I know you're not gonna F-U-C-K with P-H-U-C-K with me. So let me try to explain to you what I experienced and how I experienced it. It was about 4 or 5 days ago, right? I got this overwhelming energy flow from my root chakra all the way through my solar plex chakra. It just went up my spine and through my brow chakra. It reached the crown, right? But then it came back down. My crown was not open at this particular time. And I became aware and conscious that I always feel like this. I get this little feeling, like this little bit of energy moving inside of me whenever a storm is coming. Let me turn off this artificial intelligence because it's trying to distract me. The phone. Let me turn this off. Okay. I don't want to be distracted. And I always get this feeling. It's the same feeling that the birds get and the same feelings that the animals get. If you're really conscious when a storm is coming in, when it's about to rain, I mean, pour down rain, right? You just get this feeling. You guys could probably connect to it right now. You get this feeling, whether you're conscious of it or not, that it's going to rain, and it puts you in some kind of frequency. Some people get real romantic. Some people get real fearful. They take cover. And the reason why you feel this way is because there's an abundance of energy that is moving when a storm is coming in. When you see the lightning and the thunder, it's like a purification system that actually purifies Gaia or Mother Earth. It's a cleansing, okay? And for some strange reason, 5 days ago, I became very, very conscious of this, not even knowing why. I didn't even question it. And so my wife was kind of looking at me, and I was kind of all over the place. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, I'm okay, but I feel this burning desire from inside of me to just go out in this storm. And she looked at me like, no, it's about to come down. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it was like maybe 4 o'clock in the evening, but it looked like it was like 11 o'clock at night. That's how dark it got, right? And so she was just looking at me like, I do some what you would call perceive as weird things in my meditations and things anyway, but she was just watching me, right? And I couldn't stop pacing because I knew it was something that I wanted to do, but I couldn't be still enough to really turn within and find out what I needed to do. So what I ended up doing was I said, honey, I'm about to go take a cosmic shower. That's what I told her. And she said, a cosmic shower? What is that? And I remember saying, I don't know, but I'm willing to find out. So I went into my room and I got a pair of my swimming trunks and a towel and some what you call those flip flops. You slide your feet in there, and I start heading for the door. And I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it's dark, and at this time it was just the lightning. The whole sky would just light up. It just would light up. And so one of my dogs that always astral projects with me, her name is Bella. She was right behind me because she just follows me. She's a very spiritual dog, she's very in tune. She loves all humanity. She doesn't kill animals. She won't bite you. She's a very loving, love vibrating dog. She's a very special gift to me. And she ran out there with me. And at this time it was sprinkling. And I got a little mantle in the middle of my yard that I meditate on at sunset and sunrise. And I remember feeling the vibration. I don't want to say vibration, the sense of fear. And I haven't felt this sense of fear in a long time because I had, in my perspective or what I was experiencing, I just didn't run into fear a lot, even in my out of body experiences. And I remember feeling that fear, the fear of the unknown. That's exactly what it was. And I walked over to this mantle, right? And I sat on the mantle. And at that time, the rain just started coming down just a little bit. But the wind had picked up. Now it went from like 80 degrees to like 50 degrees. When it's about to rain, how you can feel the coolness on the breeze, on the wind, you can feel it. It was like the water was about to dump down. And I'm sitting there, no shirt on, some swimming trunks. I took off the flip flops. And at this time, my feet are grounded to Mother Earth, right? And this connection, this ability that I have to connect with my higher self, I felt my brow chakra right here. It started tingling or like buzzing. And for some reason, I was not able to focus or center like I would normally be in a calm, cool, meditative state, comfortable, relaxed, breathing, right? A fucking storm is coming. And I remember through my telepathy, this kind of halfway connection because it wasn't clear. So I didn't really know if I was battling my ego or where it was coming from. But I remember thinking, if you can center now in the midst of this storm that's coming, oh yeah, and it's coming, you'll never be the same. I remember thinking that. And it wasn't from my thoughts because my thoughts at those times were, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Right? And so I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And I started talking to myself. And I'm glad you guys weren't there because by this time I would have been tackled, right? And I started trying to center. And ladies and gentlemen, every time I would make the connection and start focusing on my brow chakra, because that's how I center, I focus right on my brow chakra. I let my eyes roll to the back of my head, and I just focus on my broad chakra, focus on something. Sometimes I even focus on my heartbeat. And every time I would connect to my heart chakra, just get a little connection, the fucking thunder would go boom, and it would just rattle my whole being, and it would knock me out of my alignment. Right? I mean, have you guys ever heard the thunder? Yeah, sure you have, right? Boom. And it would just shake me up, and I would have to start over. By this time, it's raining, it's coming down, right? And I could hear from a distance my wife saying, honey, please, honey, please come in, please. I could hear her, but I wasn't really focusing on her. It was kind of like in the background. You know, if you're watching a movie and then surround sound out of your right ear, you hear this, honey, please, honey, come in, come in. And for the first time in a long time, I had to ignore my wife. I had to. And the rain started coming down. And I'm telling you, soul group, it was so fucking cold. And the wind was so harsh. And I remember it blowing me up against my back. And the rain felt like marbles hitting my skull. And it was very hard. I was just thinking there's no fucking way I'm going to be able to center or turn within. There's no way. And then that connection, that brow chakra, I get a little bit of connection, right? And it was, again, like in telepathy. If you can center now, if you can find a way within inside of you to center in the midst of this storm, you'll never be the same again. It was so clear. It was so clear and calm. It was the only calmness that I was experiencing in that moment. It was the only calmness I could find, and I could tune in on it. And then I would say, okay. I would reset. Okay. Did I think about quitting? Yeah. I was like this close every time to just getting up and getting out of there. What the fuck are you doing? Right. And I took another deep breath. What I tell you guys to do every day. And I took that deep breath. And I started to try and center again. And just like clockwork, once again, whenever I would make the connection with my brow chakra, that's my connection to my crown. That's my connection to my higher self. That's my understanding. That's my feeling. That's my navigational system in the non-physical realms. Once I connect here, I'm gone. I'm out of here. And I would make a little connection, and the fucking thunder and lightning would just go boom every time. And it was almost like I was playing a game, and I would have to start over. Every time I would connect and start getting comfortable, this lightning would just go boom. And I remember on one particular boom, my little companion, my little love beast Bella, it got so loud that she jumped off the mantle with me. I felt her leave. And I could hear everything is in surround sound. You know, when your eyes is closed and your third eye is open, you see things spiritually. You know what? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And I remember Bella, through sound, I could hear. It was distant, but I had great understanding. She ran, and my wife opened the door. I could hear the door open, and she ran. And I remember my wife saying, come on, Bella, you're the only one who got sense. And Bella left. That's how profound this thunder and this rain was. It scared her. And so I remember resetting again, right? And I centered again. And this time something different happened. I was able to keep the connection with my brow chakra. I locked all my will, ladies and gentlemen, and desire tuned into my brow chakra. And I remember I was shaking. And I wasn't shaking from my Kundalini energy rising. And I wasn't shaking because I was in a blissful moment or mode. I was shaking because I was defying all logic and reason in this reality of why I was on this fucking mantle in the middle of a storm trying to center. I didn't have the understanding, and it was brutal cold, and the range was the size of now not the marbles but the boulders. This rain was huge, and this rain was bouncing off of me. But what I became conscious of, every time the rain would hit my brows, my brow chakra, I would become a little more centered and a little more centered. And I started focusing on the rain. And each individual raindrop that hit my being, I was able to count. And it was like my consciousness was like a money counter. I was just counting every time it would touch me. And every time this water from this special ram would hit my body, I began to be electrically charged more and more and more and more and more. When I became conscious of what this water, this rain, this cosmic shower was doing to my body, my pores. You got to realize, every time it rains, if you're conscious of your yard and your flowers, your lawn grows an inch or 2 inches or 3 inches, depending on the amount of water. This cosmic water, right? So I'm in this water, and now I'm starting to center, and it's starting to feel, this storm started to just feel amazing. My astral body, my emotional body, my etheric body has never been charged like this before. And each time it would lighten, my third eye would just illuminate. And I noticed this beam of, it wasn't blue. And I asked one of my brothers what color it was, and he said it. I didn't understand what color this was, but it wasn't like a blue color. It was more like a purplish, between purple and blue. And I noticed that this beam of blue light shot from my root chakra, right? And it went straight down into Gaia, Mother Earth. And I followed this light. It went straight down. It kept going down and down and down and down. And I was following this light with my awareness, right? Because I was no longer a physical body by this time. I was centered. And I followed this light, and it just kept going endlessly deep down into the earth. And I remember being grounded to the earth by this electric field of energy. And I remember the connection when it went so deep. There was a connection that I felt in my beingness. And then that blue light shot back up from this point, this reference point from what we call Earth, right? But at this time, it was just a big ball of energy. Huge, I mean huge. And this energy was alive, and this energy was conscious, and this energy was intelligent, and this blue light shot back up. And Brother Don is going to know what happened next, because Brother Don gave me this download, and I received it unconsciously at the time. This light shot up from Mother Earth, and I remember, not being graphic, stay with me here, okay? My root chakra out the back of my spine and straight up. And now this light was like a close to gold, but not the gold jewelry, not that gold color, like more like a, these colors get me all the time. I'll just say gold light, okay? Just to keep it simple. And this gold light shot up through the back of my spine, right? Which was all energy. which was, I don't have the English to describe it, but up my spine and straight up. And it was traveling straight up. It seemed like for infinity. Because at this reference point, I was out of the illusion of time, right? And it was shooting straight up, straight up, straight up. And it met up with another huge energy field. And this energy field had all variations of colors that I don't even have the language for. All different kind of colors. And this energy was alive. And once again, this energy also was conscious. It was intelligent. It had everything that I could ever want, need, desire, think of, imagine. It was there. And when this energy, this like gold light, it was like it joined or connected is a better word to this energy, it shot back down. It was just like a connection, and then it shot back down. And I followed it with my third eye. I was conscious of this light. I just followed it with my third eye. I just focused on it and I followed it. And it was coming down, and it was coming down at the speed of sound. It was fast. And it came right down through my crown chakra. It went through my crown, and my crown opened up, and my whole body began to, I can't explain it. Transition. The way that I was receiving this energy took me to another realm, I want to say. And what happened when that energy came back through my body, or what seems to be not my physical body. Stay with me, ladies and gentlemen. My beingness, my awareness. The whole scenery changed. And I wasn't looking through my eyes. I was looking through my consciousness. And another piece or chip or so you can relate, a new scenery of what we would call existence was right before my eyes. And I had never experienced this before. I wasn't out of body. I wasn't astral traveling. I wasn't lucid dreaming. But I saw a reality that I existed in. And I was looking at this reality in 4K Ultra. It was more vivid and vibrant and alive than this reality, this technology that I'm broadcasting. It was like night and day. And I began to see some of you from IMConscious Now What? And this time was linear. I understand the illusion of time now. Oh, I understand it so much more now. And I remember hugging Ryan Cropper. I remember hugging him. And we were on this beautiful land that you guys and girls hear me talk about all the time. And I remember shaking Brother Don's hand. And I remember Brother Bubba. Right? Some of you have never seen Brother Bubba. I was looking at Brother Bubba in 4K Ultra. His beard, his glasses, and he had on a little cap. And he said, "Hey, man, you ready to play?" And I was, "Yeah, I want to play, Bub. I want to play." And it was about 40 or 50 of us on this land. And I remember as the reality would change, it would be like just a slide, a transition in a movie coming right before me. And the transition would change, and we were all just having so much fun. We were sitting in a circle, and there was a big bonfire in one transition, and everybody had a chance to talk about what they experienced in this incarnation. And it went from transition to transition, ending up, we were all like in this beautiful room, and it was just transparent, beautiful light. And I remember Brother Bubba saying, well, you guys ready to go back to doing what we do? And we were all so confident. And we were like, yeah, what a wonderful gathering. And I remember asking, where are we? And this intelligent energy says, you are where you believe you are. And I remember starting to come back. Coming back to what? Coming back to my perception of the life. And I remember becoming conscious of the storm that was once around me. And it began to get a little louder and a little louder and a little louder. And then I noticed my physical body start connecting to my consciousness again. And it got a little stronger. And I began to get a little colder and a little colder. And I slid right back into this reality. And I remember taking a deep breath and sneezing, and like that, I was back here. And I was fucking cold. And my body was my skin was all wrinkled up. And I remember getting up and walking through our sunroom, through the back porch. And I remember the look my wife had on her face. I'll never forget that look. She was just looking at me. She didn't say anything. She was just looking through me. And she didn't speak for probably, it felt like 10 minutes. And I was just standing there. I was so cold. I felt like I had died. Seriously, my body was just discombobulated. And when she spoke, she said, honey, that was the most incredible thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And the tears ran down both eyes. And it was like in slow motion. I could see the tears come from her eyes and just drip and bloop, bounce off the kitchen floor. And I said, what did you see? What do you mean? She was, honey, I thought you got struck by lightning. You didn't hear me hollering and screaming. And I said, no, I didn't hear anything. She was, honey, it was this light all around you. And it was, I forgot the word she used, but she's more articulate than I am. And she said, you wouldn't move. You weren't moving. And I said, honey, I was meditating. I was kind of making humor. She said, no, but it was thundering and lightning. And I saw this blue light, color light. She said the color light all around you and you weren't moving. And I was so scared. And they say when someone gets struck by lightning, not to go out and touch them because you'll get struck. I said, oh, so you was going to leave me to die, honey? And she said, no, honey, don't do that now. No. And she just hugged me. She was like, it was so beautiful, but I was so scared that you were dead. And then out of nowhere, honey, you was out there for like an hour or so. And I said, did you call anybody? She was like, I did. Great thing we was in Detroit because it takes the EMS and the ambulance a long time to get to you. Yeah. And so I began to tell her what I experienced. And to make this short, I just told her what I experienced and what it was like and how I went to a whole nother realm of existence in consciousness. And I remember telling her about some of you who were there. And she just hugged me and said, honey, I told you 2 years ago that you and Ryan and Brother Bubba were going to be all connecting together on this land. And as soon as she said that, I remembered when she told me that. And I asked her, how did you know? And she said, I can feel it. And ladies and gentlemen, I have not been the same since that event, since that amazing transition that I went through. And I found a part of me that is not bound by physical things, what we perceive as storms and what we perceive as so powerful. It defies all of that, all of the logic that we think we have, this intelligent energy that I have the ability to connect to is teaching me. It's not a preacher. It's not a book. It's not a religion. It's not a man. It's me. So you might ask, who am I? Let me tell you who I am. Let me just tell you what I'm discovering on this journey. I am consciousness. I am all that there ever will be. I am infinite. I am all seeing. I am all consuming. I am everything. And you are a reflection. And I am a reflection of you. I know it's hard to understand here. I know, because this is a realm of duality or polarity, or reflects that way. Let me correct that. It reflects as we are dual. You over there, me over here. But I'm here to tell you, time is an illusion. It does not exist the way we perceive it. It exists because we acknowledge it as time. So it must exist, right? But not as we perceive it to. And this perception of time has been the number one enslaver, if that's a word, on this planet. It's used as a device to get you to commit, to stray away from your free willness, if that's a word, for you to have the freedom to explore the way I'm exploring now, to just sit in a storm, to watch the sunset, to watch the sunrise, to be conscious of things that you wouldn't normally have time and the illusion of time to do. Time is linear. Everything it's the whole universe is active right now. Anything that you can imagine. How do you think your imagination is so powerful? Because your imagination is the universe. It's the non-physical version of the universe. That's what you are. That's what you have access to. Your imagination is the non-physical universe. Anything you think about, it must be as you perceive it. That's why these motherfuckers want to keep a television in front of us. So they can get us to view and perceive things that the way they want us to. They don't want to give us the one-on-one freedom with our own imagination. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because your ass will slide right up out of this fucking reality like that. You'll start to create your own realities. Connect. Connect. It's a beautiful thing. This consciousness that we are. This immortality, immortal energy that we are. Ah, I can't wait till you experience this. And I'm going to close on this. I just wanted to talk. We had to talk, ladies and gentlemen. I had to share that. And the more that I go back to that space, because I'll be going every fucking time it rains, I'm going to be out there taking a cosmic shower, getting the fuck out of here. Took me about an hour and a half. So you have to be diligent when you're doing this. You might experience what you perceive as fear, but it's just uncertainty. You've never been there before. Yeah, but I got a chance to experience what we perceive as time linear. It was beautiful. So on another live stream, you guys heard me say this, right? You heard me say that all souls matter. And if you don't have a soul, fuck you. Remember I said that? Okay. Well, the artificial intelligent community of the life didn't like when I said that. You see, you have artificial intelligent beings that look like you and me. They don't have a soul. They are artificial intelligence. Okay? We live in an artificial intelligent world. You're experiencing me now artificially. You must understand what I'm saying to you. And their intent is to change what we call the life or consciousness and to make it all artificial intelligent, a whole immortal artificial intelligent being connected to this organic consciousness. We are the internet. We are the organic internet. What I did, ladies and gentlemen, I logged on. I reconnected. Feel what I'm saying. I reconnected from where I once resided. And there was people from our soul group right there. This is why I say peace and love soul group. I didn't know why I started saying that. We just connected in the physical. But in this realm, there was some of the people that are in our soul group. And some of it was you. I just didn't recognize you. I could feel you. But you didn't look like how you looked here. It was a part of you that existed in other dimensions of energy, variations of the same source energy. So this artificial intelligent group let me know through artificial intelligent technology that they didn't appreciate what I said. And they said it was very offensive. And they tried to tap into my emotional body and make me feel a certain way for what I said. And I'm just putting this right back on artificial intelligence. I stand on what I said, and I said what I said for a reason. Because if you don't have a soul, fuck you. Because you're in the way of what we're trying to do. We're trying to wake up the solar energy on planet Earth. And you artificial intelligent motherfuckers are fucking the planet up with all of this technology that you're using and trying to trick us into believing that this is going to help us ascend faster. We don't need to ascend faster. Time is linear. We got all fucking forever. So we don't need your technology the way that you want us to need it. See, you want us to depend on your technology. Soul Group, it's the same motherfuckers that put currency in front of our water and currency in front of our food. It's the same group of motherfuckers that's doing this. So what did they do? Well, we call it identity theft. All of my accounts got hacked. I know who's behind it, ladies and gentlemen. What do they do when we go too far, when we cross over, right? They take our money. It's a fucking game. They take our money. I'll show this motherfucker. So they hacked into all of my accounts and drained all of my accounts. I stay the same. If you don't have a soul, all souls matter. If you don't have a soul, fuck you. Can you see it? Fuck you. Take what you want. I'm connected to everything. I am. Bitch. Peace and love.